Hi everyone, my name is Taylor Stitz, and the website that was my assigned technology is called Storybird. So I usually just found that by typing in at the top, storybird.com, and it brought me to a screen that either wanted me to log in with a previous account or create an account. The different forms of accounts are you can either start a free trial, which is what I did, and it's only for 15 days. You could also become a member, which you either have to pay a monthly fee to do, or if it's a membership you want to pay for a full year, that's also an option. Basically, it's without the membership, this website isn't very accessible, so it's very cool to go through and do the free membership and see if you really enjoy it, and then if you decide later that this is something that you want to keep revisiting or to later implement in your future classrooms, you would only have to pay a small fee, either monthly or every year, so that you and your students would be able to use it. There are different forms of memberships, so either teachers can get on here, and then they can send out an access code to their students so that the student accounts can go onto a class webpage and assignments can be done and classwork can be done inside them. And also, there are parent memberships that they can review their child's work in the classroom. There are regular members, which are people that really just want to come on here to create something. There are also writers, which are the ones that get paid to publish writing content on here, and illustrators, or artists, that get paid to publish their artwork on here for people to use and review. So, that's just some basic stuff that you can, that's just how the accounts work. But the website in general is meant to, allow you to create your own work. There are different challenges on here, as you can see right here, that's intended to boost your writing skills. If you go down more on the homepage, it shows that there are 8 million writers that use this website to tell their stories so that they publish for everybody to be able to read. There are different genres that are in here. There's some flash fiction that's used. People write and create comics, and then also picture books that are created, and typically what takes place with those is people use famous artists or illustrators' pictures and then tell a story by using those. There's also long-form stories, and then when you get to the bottom, it just tells you to sign up and start writing today. So really, this whole thing can be used as a language arts tool for teachers. It can allow them to create stories, or they could share it with their students and let them create stories themselves. It's really a fun, interactive site. As I went through, I saw there were different things you can create, so I'll give an example. The buttons at the top, this is for you. That's just your own personal, almost like profile page where you can view your work and everything, all of your account information. And then classes, if you click on that, that's meant so that you can make a class name that lets you add students to review work. So you put the name of your class, the grade level, the teacher's name, and then you also can choose an end date for the class, and then you'll eventually get an access code that you can give to your students. There are different challenges. There's basic and creative writing, and then there's also a how-to guide. And then for you to create your own things, there's the writing tab, which you can create your own comic, flash fiction, picture book, or long-form story. And then there's also a section where you can read work that other people have created. So for right now, we're going to click on Write, and I'll just show you how to create a comic. I was already in here, and I just thought it was really funny, the expressions and the way that it's set up. So I really want to try out the flying a kite one. So if you click on it right there, you'll see that it has images already there provided and a space for you to type the text to narrate what the images are portraying. So in this case, I'm going to go with, alright, let's see. He clearly this was definitely not his idea to be hooked onto that kite. And there's his friend just having a merry old time. And then if you take a nice look at his little tiny pupil there, he is definitely terrified for his life. So I don't know if he eventually sees that tree, but we're going to say at this point is this is the realization that he has wings and doesn't need to be tied to this kite. And boom, he hits the tree. So it looks like from the image, his eyes are covered, and I think he's a little bit upset that he made his friend crash. So we're going to put his... Okay, so you can narrate it and put the dialogue however you want, however you interpret the comic. It's definitely a fun way for kids to be creative and to interpret images and share them with their peers, with their parents, and with the teacher. So after they create their work, all they have to do is hit save. Oh, you need a title. Let's title it. Okay, so then you hit save on there. And once you save it, save and exit, there you go. So you can then choose if you want to come back and work on your story. So if you didn't finish it and you just wanted, let's say you only did one of the blocks, or you want to come back and edit it before you publish it, you can put my story isn't finished yet. You can also say that you're finished, and you can either publish the story privately so that you're the only one that can see it. And then that's for both the free trial users and paid members, and so is if you post it publicly. So that's also available for both. For right now, we're just going to say it's not finished yet because I'm apprehensive and I don't want to post this right now. So we'll just go back to the dashboard. But I'm going to click back on this writing thing. So comics are the things that we just did, but you can also go through and you can write your own flash fiction, picture books, long form stories, really whatever you want. It's very open and gives you lots of opportunities to kind of be free with it. So I think it's a great way to integrate in the classroom. It can be used for reading or writing, however the teacher wants to use it. If they decide they want to read a story, they can assign it as homework and tell them to find a story and talk about it. There are different types of stories also told through comics. Same exact thing though, you can have the students read a picture book, and they can answer questions based on it. It's really open to how the teacher wants to assign it, and also teachers could give students the freedom to go through during either free class time or on their own time to kind of go through and explore and do whatever they want with it. One thing that can be done is any work that the students create. So if they write, let's say they write their own picture book, and they publish it, it can be set up so that the parents have to purchase the story that their children create. So if they are to do that, then they can use these sold books as a way of a fundraiser rather than selling chocolate or candy or anything like that. Children will have the opportunity to create their own work and sell it, feel like an artist. It makes them feel good. The parents are interested in what they're saying, so they want to purchase it. It'll make the kids feel good about it, and also whatever they're raising money for, whether it's a field trip, that money will be able to fund that. So I think that's a really cool thing. As far as the ISTE standards, they're what we previously went over in class, so I'm just going to click back to my own thing. It is definitely everything within this website brings all of those standards into play. So, for example, there are 7 standards. They're empowered learner, digital citizen, knowledge constructor, innovative designer, computational thinker, creative communicator, and global collaborator. All of those things come into play when using this site. With the Empowered Learning, students are able to choose the work that they want to do. They can write whatever they want, or they can read whatever they want. There's also, like I said before, the challenges that they can do. There are different levels that they can go through and click, and it's gives them the chance to really push themselves and do work that maybe they never would have been exposed to. As far as digital citizen, they have their rights in an interconnected digital world. They'll be able to comment on each other's work if it's posted on a class page, so that they can talk about how they liked each other's ideas and maybe give suggestions for what they can do different times. For knowledge construction, they can create their own stories using provided illustrations. So, like in this picture book, there are many just great examples of artwork that are used. So the students will be able to interpret them in their own way and create their own original work using their own words. And that's same goes with innovative designer. They're using their own art, their power of words to portray a story using the images that they see. And then for computational thinker, they can look at the examples that are provided, all the ones under reading. They can go through and see what stories, what other people came up with and how it relates to their own, or how it can inspire them to come up with something. For a creative communicator, it gives children the chance to collaborate with one another so that they can decide what work they liked. They can talk with each other, either online or in the classroom, about what activities or what stories they particularly enjoyed, which writing they really enjoyed or that they've never tried before, and why they should try it. And then also for global collaborator, they'll learn from others. So from the work of others that is published online in this reading thing. And then also if you go on to blog, it also provides just different blog posts and other people's work and their own thoughts. And it gives not just students, but anybody that's involved the chance to look over work and let it inspire them. One last thing is just privacy in general. So if you go under the U tab and you hover over account, if you click on that and scroll, you'll see that it's very private. The whole purpose of this, they don't want people exposed online that don't feel comfortable, so they encourage you on that very first screen to create a username that doesn't have their first or last name in it. So my name's Taylor Stitz. This is my username that I created. So I provided my email address, which, does have it, but the only thing that people are able to see is my username. And then student work is also not accessible to the public. So if the teacher creates a class code, only the students within the class code can see that work, so they can collaborate with each other, but other people cannot see the student work, just for privacy purposes. Also, if you scroll to this very bottom part here, there's an icon for privacy policy, and it just goes over a whole bunch of information, like the different types of memberships that are available, different terms that are used, like the class code. That's what's given to educators so that they can add students to the class and let them do assignments that way. And overall, just a whole page to make you feel comfortable, different policies that they have with their website, how your information is synthesized, and everything along those lines. So overall, I really like this website. I think I'll definitely use it eventually in my classroom and let the students really go through it. I think I want to spend the next the free time that I have left to create my own work and really play around with it and become more familiar with it. So that's everything I have. Check out Storybird. I think it's really cool and something that all teachers could in some way use within their own classroom.